Good day, viewers. Now, in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to solve some basic nursing entrance exam questions. So we have some series of questions here that we are going to solve. So as you can see, so let's start with question number 1. So I will be covering the questions, so we just take it one after the other. So we are going to begin with question number 1. And the question says that what is the answer when 2434 base 6 is divided by 42 base 6? So we can simply write this as 2434 base 6 divided by 42 base 6. So now we cannot divide this number direct like this. The first thing you need to do when a number is given in any base other than base 10, you need to convert it to base 10 before you convert it back to base 6. You need to convert this number to base 10, convert this 42 to base 10, then you now divide it. Then when you divide, the answer you get, you now convert it back to base 6. So now let's solve it and see what we are going to get. So I'm going to convert this 2434 base 6 to base 10. Now to convert this number to base 10, this is what you need to do. 2, 4, 3, 4 base 6. Now I'm going to label this number like this. Start from the last digit. The last digit is 0, followed by 1, followed by 2, followed by 3. So I'm going to say this 2 times 6. You know the number is in base 6. So I will say 2 times 6. Now raise this 6 to the power of this 3 that we have here. So 6 raised to power 3. Then plus. Now I'll multiply this 4 by this 6. 4 times 6. Raise it to the power of this 2 on top of the 4. Then plus. The next digit is 3. So I will say 3 times 6. Raise it to the power of 1. Then the last digit there is what? 4. Plus 4 times 6 raised to power 0. Okay, so that's the first step. Now the second step, now we are going to simplify this number further by saying 6 raised to power 3. Then whatever you got, you multiply by these 2. 6 raised to power 3 means 6 times 6 times 6. So 6 times 6 times 6 is going to give you 4. It's going to give you, okay, multiply everything by 2. 6 times 6 times 6 times this 2. So 6 times 6 times 6 will give us 216. So let's still use the bracket plus. Now 6 raised to power 2 is 6 times 6. So we are going to have it there 4 times 6 times 6 is 36 plus. Now 6 raised to power 1 is 6. So here we have 3 times 6. Then plus 6 raised to power 0 is 1. Anything raised to power 0 will give you 1. Okay? So that will give us 4 times 1. So now what's the next thing we do? We go ahead to multiply this 2 times 216, which will give us 432, plus multiply this 4 times 36. 4 times 36 will give us 144, plus 3 times 6 is 18, then plus 4 times 1 is 4. Then we are going to sum up this number. Add this number 432 plus 144 plus 18 plus 4. That is going to give us 598. So this number now is in base 10. So we can drop this one now. Then we convert this 42 base 6 to base 10 before we can divide. So let's convert 42 base 6 to base 10. So I'm going to label the last digit 0, label this for 1. Then I'm going to multiply this 4 by this 6. So that will give me 4 times 6 raised to power 1 plus 2 times 6 raised to power 0. So by simplifying this, I'm going to say 6 raised to power 1 is 6. So 4 times 6 is what? 4 times 6 is 24. Then plus 6 raised to power 0 is what? 1. Then 2 times 1 is 2. So 24 plus 2 is equal to what? 26. So this 26 is in base 10. You get that? So now what do? You can now divide this 598 base 10. So you are going to have 598. Now base 10 is a natural counting order, so you can just leave this base 10. So divide it by 26. So by dividing this 598 by 26, you are going to get 23. So this 23 is in base 10, don't forget. So we are going to convert this 23 back to base 6 to get our final answer. Okay? So convert this 23 back to base what? Base 6. So we are going to convert 23. How do you convert 23 to base 6? You just say 23 divided by 6. So 6 goes into 23. You know 6 cannot go into 23, right? So 6 goes into 23. We are going to say 3 times. You know 3 times 6 is 18. So there will be a remainder of what? Remainder of 5. So you write that 5 as a remainder. Now we say 6 again. 6 goes into 3. 6 cannot go into 3. So since 6 cannot go into 3, you are going to say 0. Then remember this 3 that the 6 cannot go into. So you write it here. So now, since we have 0, we cannot divide again. So you are going to get your answer from here by taking this number from the bottom to the top. So we have 3 and we have 5. So we can say that our answer is equal to 35 base 6. So that's the answer to number 1 question. So let us see question number 2. So I'm going to take this one off. So let's solve for question number 2. Question number 2 says find the value of x in root 2 all over x plus root 2 equal to 1 all over x minus root 2. Now the first thing you have to do in this question is to cross multiply. When you have a fraction, numerator over denominator equal to numerator over denominator, you cross multiply. So this numerator will cross multiply with this denominator like this. Cross it like this. Cross this like this. So that's it. So we are going to multiply this root 2 times what we have here. So we say root 2 times, you know, this is a complex number. This is x minus root 2. So we are going to use bracket there for the multiplication. X minus root 2 then equal to, now multiply 1 times x plus root 2. Anything times 1 will give you that same thing, okay? Anything times 1 is that same thing. So x plus root 2 times 1 is going to give us x plus root 2. So at this point now, we are going to simplify this bracket. We are going to use this root 2 to multiply by what we have inside this bracket. So we are going to say root 2 times x, which is going to give us x root 2. Then bring this minus here. Root 2 times root 2, when you are multiplying two root number like this, the answer is the number itself. Or you can say 2 times 2 is what? 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So we have 2 there, which is equal to x plus root 2. So at this point now, we are going to take this minus 2 and cross over to this side, because this 2 doesn't have x. So we are going to collect like terms now. This x will come down to this side. This minus 2 will go over to this side. Are you getting it? So now, this 2 was minus. When negative sign crosses equality sign, it becomes positive. So when I carry this minus 2 and cross, it will become plus 2. This x is plus. When I cross it to this side, it will become minus 2. So that's going to give us x root 2. So I'm bringing this x now to this side to become minus x equal to. Then I'm taking this 2 down to this side. Already we have root 2 here. So when I bring this 2 here, it becomes plus 2. Then remember we are finding the value of x. So we are going to say x root 2 minus x. I can simplify this place by finding the common factor. We have x here, we have x here. So x is common. Then x will cancel this x. So what we are going to be left in this place will be root 2 minus x goes into x one time, which is equal to root 2 plus 2. For me to get the value of x, that's my answer now. I'm going to divide both sides by the coefficient of this x, which is root 2 minus 1. So this will be root 2 minus 1 divided by root 2 minus 1. So this will cancel this. So x is equal to root 2 plus 2 all over root 2 minus 1. Now this is supposed to be our final answer. But we are going to further simplify this, because when you are solving SOLD, you don't need to have a rational number at the denominator. So I'm going to rationalize this. Now, what do I mean by rationalizing this? I'm going to first of all find the conjugate now. Now, what I mean by conjugate is this denominator that is root 2 minus 1. The conjugate is going to be root 2 plus 1. This is the conjugate. If this place was to be plus, then the conjugate will be minus. But you don't change the number, you only change the sign. Okay? So now, this is the conjugate. So what do we do with this conjugate? We are going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by this conjugate. So I'm going to say that x is equal to root 2 plus 2. Then I will multiply it by this conjugate, which is root 2 plus 1. Then all over, the denominator is root 2 minus 1. Then multiply it by the conjugate, which is root 2 plus 1. So I'm going to open the bracket at the numerator. I will use this root 2 and multiply by this root 2. Let me use an arrow to connect it. So root 2 times root 2. That's 2 times 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So root 2 times root 2 is 2. Then I will use this root 2 again to multiply by this 1. Remember we have plus here. So bring down this plus here. So root 2 times 1. Anything times 1 will give you that same thing. So root 2 times 1 will give us root 2. Now I have used this root 2 to multiply by everything inside this bracket here. So I will use this 2 and do the same thing. So we have plus here. Bring your plus. Then this 2 times this root 2. 2 times root 2 is going to give us 2 root 2. Then plus this 2 times this 1 is going to give us 2. So I'm going to say all over. Now come down to the denominator. Now look at this 2 bracket now. We have root 2 here, we have root 2 here. We have 1 here, we have 1 here. So we have the same thing inside the 2 brackets. But the only difference between these 2 brackets is plus and minus. And we know that minus times plus is what? Minus. So I'm going to write this denominator as root 2 square, since we have root 2 times root 2. Then minus times minus, or minus times plus will give us minus. Then we have 1 here, we have 1 here. So I'm going to write it as 1 square. So we call this difference of 2 squares. So now we are going to have this. Let us collect like terms at the numerator. Let's collect like terms. Now, everything that have root 2, we are going to add it together. Then the one that doesn't have root 2, we add them together. So here we have 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 will give us 4. Then plus root 2 plus 2 root 2 is going to give us 3 root 2 all over. Now, this square will cancel this square root. So that will give us 2 here minus 1 raised to power 2 is 1 times 1, which is 1. So that will give us 4 plus 3 root 2. You know, you cannot add these two numbers because they are not the same. They are not like terms. So 2 minus 1 is what? 1. Remember, anything divided by 1 will give you that same thing. So 4 plus 3 root 2 divided by 1 is going to give us 4 plus 3 root 2. So this is the answer to question number 2. Remember, if you have a question, you are free to drop your question at the comment section. Then I will attend to your questions. Okay, so I take this off. Now let's look at question number 3. Question number 3. Question number 3 says, solve for x. Solve for x, 2x all over 3 equal to 8 plus 4x. So let us solve for the value of x here. Now, what you need to do is that 8 plus 4x, you can make this 8 plus 4x over 1 so that you can cross multiply numerator, cross multiply by this denominator like this cross multiply by this. So this 2x will cross multiply by 1. So I'm going to have 2x times 1, which is equal to 2x, equal to, now 3 times 8 plus 4x. 8 plus 4x is a complex number, so you don't just multiply 3 by this thing. You have to say 3 open bracket 8 plus 4x. Okay, so this is going to be equal to 2x equal to, so now I'm going to multiply my 3 by this 8. So 3 times 8, that will give us 24. Then plus 3 times this 4x. 3 times 4x will give us 12x. So at this point, I'm going to collect like terms. I'm going to carry this 2x, cross over to this side. You know, it is plus. So when it crosses, it becomes minus. As I'm crossing this 2x, I'm crossing this 24 down to this side. So this 24 was plus. When I cross it to this side, it will become minus. So that is going to be, let me cross the 24, so it becomes minus. So I cancel it from this place, which is equal to, this 12x is here. So I'm going to cross this 2x, it becomes minus 2x. So that's going to give us minus 24 equal to, now 12x minus 2x, that's going to give us 10x. So to get the value of x, I'm going to divide both sides by 10. Divide here by 10. So 10 will cancel itself here. So I can say that x is equal to, now, you know, the numerator has negative sign. So your answer is going to be negative. So if you don't have calculator, you can first of all reduce this 24 and this 10 to lowest term by saying 2 cancel 24, that will be minus 12 all over 2 cancel 10, that will be 5. So you can say 5 goes into 12. 5 goes into 12 is going to be 2 times. Remember, your answer is negative. So it will be remainder what? Remainder 2 all over 5. So this is supposed to be your final answer. But in case the answer is expressed in decimal, how do you convert this 2 over 5 to decimal? Now this is it. 2 divided by 5. We say 5 goes into 2, cannot, so we write 0 here. Then I'm going to add 0 to these 2 to make it 20. When I add 0 to these 2, I'm going to put decimal points here. So 5 goes into 20 4 times. So I can bring this 0.4 and add it to this 2 whole number, and it's going to give me negative 2.4. So if the answer is expressed in fraction, this is the answer. If it is in decimal, this is the answer. Okay, so that's question number what? Question number 3. So let's look at question number 4. Question number 4. Now, question number 4 says that a trader bought 100 oranges at 5 for 1.20 naira. Then 20 oranges got spoiled, and the remaining were sold at 4 for 1.50 naira. Find the percentage gain or loss. Okay, that's question number 4. Now, a trader bought 100 oranges at 5 for 1.20 naira. So 5 oranges goes for 1.20 naira. Now, if the trader bought 100 oranges, what is going to be the cost price? So we have to first of all find the cost price. So the cost price is equal to, now since the trader purchased or bought 100 oranges for 5 for 1.20 naira, we are going to say that the cost price is equal to 100 oranges divided by 5 times 1.20. So now we can say that 100 divided by 5, 100 divided by 5 is 20, then times 1.20. So multiply this, you are going to get 24. So the cost price is 24 naira. Then if 20 oranges got spoiled out of these 100 oranges, 20 oranges got spoiled. So we are going to remove that 20 oranges from the 100 oranges. So the number of oranges that the trader is going to sell is going to be 80 oranges, because 20 got spoiled. So now out of these 80 oranges, this is the number of oranges that the trader is going to sell. And the trader sold these 80 oranges at 4 for 1.50 naira. So we are going to say that the selling price is equal to, now 80 oranges divided by 4 times the amount, which is 1.50. So 80 divided by 4 is 20. So we have 20 times 1.50. So multiply 20 times 1.50, you are going to get 30 naira. So the selling price is 30 naira. Now, you can now know that you are not calculating loss, because when the selling price is greater than the cost price, you are going to get profit. So we are not calculating loss percent, we are calculating gain percent. So now, before we can calculate the gain percent, let me say that percentage gain is equal to gain all over cost price times 100. So this is what we are going to use to calculate the question. But let us calculate the gain. Now, what is the gain? Gain is equal to the selling price minus the cost price. So what's the selling price? The selling price is 30 minus the cost price is 24. So 30 minus 24 is what? 6. So the trader make a profit of 6 naira. So we can now calculate the percentage gain by saying that percentage gain is equal to gain, which is 6 all over cost price. Cost price is what? 24. So that will be 6 all over 24 times 100. So now I can say 2. 2 cancel this 24 12 times. 2 cancel this 100 50 times. Then 6 can cancel itself 1. 6 can cancel 12 2 times. Then this 2 can cancel this 50 25 times. So we now have 1 times 25, which is equal to 25%. So this is going to be the percentage gain that the trader will make. Okay, that's question number 4, right? So let's see what question number 5 says. Question number 5. Question number 5 says that the sale price of a car is $12,590, which is 20% off the original price. What is the original price? Now, to calculate the original price, let us say that original price is equal to sale price all over 1 minus discount percent. So this is the formula that you need to know to solve this question number 5. Sale price divided by 1 minus discount percent. Now, what is the sale price? The sale price of a car is $12,590. So we can say original price is equal to 12,590 divided by 1 minus percentage discount in the question is what? 20%. So that will be 20% means 20 divided by 100. Percentage is expressed as 100. So I'm going to say this percentage discount percent now is going to be 20 divided by 100. So if you divide 20 by 100, you are going to get 0.20. Okay, so you get 0.20 there, or you get 0.2. So now what do you do? Now you are going to say 12,590 divided by, now 1 minus 0.20 or 1 minus 0.2. You can do away with this 0 or you can add it. So that is going to give us 0.80. Okay. So divide this number 12,590 divided by 0.80. You are going to get 15,737.5. So this is going to be the original price of the car. Okay. So now let's look at question number 6. Question number 6 is a physics question. A car of mass 800 kg attains a speed of 25 meters per second in 2 seconds. The power developed in the engine is what? So here we are calculating the power of the engine. So question number 6, calculating the power of the engine. Now, the power of that engine, power is equal to force times velocity. Now, when you are given velocity like this, speed and velocity are the same thing. So when you are given speed or velocity, the formula you are going to use to calculate power is going to be force times velocity. But if you are not given velocity, then we know that power is equal to work done all over time. Work done all over time. But we have been given velocity here, so we need to use this formula, power equal to force times velocity. Now, in that question, let us see the parameters that are given to us. We have mass. Mass is what? 800 kg. What else is given there? Okay, we have velocity, which is equal to 25 meter per seconds. Then we have time, which is equal to 2 seconds. So these are the things that we have in the question. Now, we know velocity here, which is 25, but we do not have force in that question. So we need to calculate for force. Now, according to Newton's second law of motion, we know that force is equal to what? Mass times acceleration. Force is equal to mass times acceleration, right? Now, we know that mass here is what? 800, but we do not know acceleration. But we know that acceleration is equal to velocity all over time. So now we can use this formula to get acceleration, because we have velocity here, which is 25, all over, we have time here, which is 2. So we can divide 25 divided by 2. That will give us 12.5 meter per second square. So this is the acceleration. So now we have gotten the acceleration. So we can now go ahead to find the force by saying force is equal to mass times acceleration. Mass is what? 800 times acceleration is what? 12.5. So multiply 800 times 12.5 is going to give us 10,000. 10,000. So the force is 10,000 Newton. So now we can calculate the power now by saying that power is equal to force times velocity. So we know that force is 10,000. So this is going to be equal to, force is 10,000. So we say 10,000 times, we know that the velocity is what? 25. So 10,000 times 25 is going to give us, you just say 1 times 25 is going to be 25. Then we have our 4 zeros here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just add it to that 25. So that will give us 250,000 watts. So this is the answer, but many a times this answer is going to be expressed in standard form. So if it is given in standard form, you will see 2.5 times 10 raised to power 5 watts. So this is ordinary form, this is standard form. So that's question number 6. So let's see question number 7, which is the last question we have here. Question number 7 says that calculate the potential energy of a body of mass 20 kg falling through a height of 2 meters. Take G equal to 10 meters per second square. So question number 7, potential energy. Potential energy is equal to mass times acceleration due to gravity times height. So in this question, we know that the mass is what? 20 kg. Then acceleration is given to be what? 10 meter per second square. And the height is what? 2 meters. So we can just plug in the values to get the answer. Potential energy is equal to mass 20 times acceleration due to gravity is 10 times the height is 2. So multiply this by saying 20 times 10, that's going to give us 200. 200 times 2 is equal to 400 joules. So this is the answer for question number 7. Okay, so if this video has been helpful to you, you can subscribe to the channel for notification of new videos, and like the video as well.